This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
All right, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastic. So I've been seeing a lot of comments here on my channel over some recent videos and, of course, the recent live streams that I've done where people are blaming Eddie Hearn for stalling the Anthony Joshua contract signing to fight Tyson Fury. Now, people are pointing to this particular reason, firstly, because they want to. There's a lot of people out there who just don't like Eddie Hearn. If they can blame Eddie Hearn for anything and everything, they will. To the point where some of them will lie, okay? That's what they do. They don't like Eddie Hearn, all right? If it's raining and they want sunshine today, somehow that's Eddie Hearn's fault. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. fight hasn't been made yet. Somewhere along the lines, that'll be Eddie Hearn's fault, okay? If they can blame Eddie Hearn for anything, they will. It's almost like their every waking second ambition is to find Eddie Hearn and expose him for something. Okay, it is what it is. Now, I have no agenda when it comes to Eddie Hearn. Okay, me and Eddie Hearn, we don't talk. Only he knows why. Even I don't know why properly, but he knows why. All right, so I ain't no Eddie Hearn fanboy, but I'm going to tell you a lot of things that happen within boxing behind the scenes, and I know a lot of things and how things work. Whether you like me or whether you don't, or my platform, whatever, you have to know. And surely I've shown enough evidence over the last couple of years. I know boxing. I really do. And when it comes to some behind the scenes stuff, you'll be surprised at some of the things that I've actually been involved in. And I can't tell you what they are because I'm not licensed. And if the British Box Board of Control ever found out, they will have nothing more than to throw me on the fire. Because I know for a fact, because I've been told, that Robert Smith has an issue with me. All right? So therefore, unfortunately, I can't say anything anyway. But I know what goes on. So we can look at Bob Arum. Now, Bob Arum blaming Eddie Hearn as to why this fight isn't signed yet. Well, that's no surprise that Bob Arum will blame Eddie Hearn. Now, I spoke to Bob Arum on a couple of occasions on podcast. Cool guy, right? He lies. He does. But he's a promoter, right? Heaven forbid a promoter tells the truth all the time, right? But Eddie Hearn is his rival. ESPN, DAZN are rivals in boxing. Top Rank, Matchroom are rivals. He will use anything and everything that he possibly can to blame Eddie Hearn. So, can we take his word for it? Not really. Gareth A. Davis. Well, Gareth A. Davis, again, I haven't seen Gareth A. Davis say this, but I've heard from some of you that Gareth A. Davis, he believes Eddie Hearn is the reason for this hold-up. Okay? Well, he's good friends with Tyson Fury. So if he's going to blame anybody, it ain't going to be on Tyson Fury's side, is it? Okay? Spencer Oliver. Well, Spencer Oliver is good friends with Anthony Joshua, apparently. And of course, he works on TalkSport. And a lot of people are saying that Spencer Oliver, who's friends with Anthony Joshua, was on TalkSport, and he says that he believes the hold-up for this fight is Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn doesn't want this fight. So therefore, because Spencer Oliver is friends with Anthony Joshua, therefore it must be true. Sometimes I have to do thinking for people. Do you really think that Anthony Joshua spoke to Spencer Oliver and said, a little bit of inside information for you to put out on TalkSport? Eddie Hearn's stalling this. You can put it out there if you want. Do you think that's what would happen? Honestly? Come on now. But something that I think a lot of people have forgotten about, or maybe they're ignorant to it, or maybe they deliberately don't even want to mention it, is that Spencer Oliver, yes, he's good friends with Anthony Joshua. Yes, he works on TalkSport, but he also has another job, doesn't he? You know who he works for? Sky Sports. He works for Sky Sports. Who are Sky Sports? Well, we all know the relationship between Sky Sports and Eddie Hearn recently, ever since Eddie Hearn left Sky Sports Boxing to go exclusive with DAZN. We've seen the daggers come out on both sides, have we not? They didn't even interview Eddie Hearn for the Joshua Usyk rematch. So we know that there's tension. Now, I'm not saying that Spencer Oliver is deliberately trying to dig his boot in on Eddie Hearn to try and convince people Eddie Hearn's the bad guy, you shouldn't watch his product, you should watch ours. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but I'm also not saying it's not out the realm of possibility now, is it? Okay? So that's Spencer Oliver. By the way, I've met Spencer Oliver a couple of times. He comes across pretty cool. Now, something else that a lot of you should know, but some of you won't. Promoters do not make the fights. Now, promoters will be the brainchild, the brains behind it all. They want certain fights to happen. They are the ones with the budget. They come up with the idea of the fight night, all that kind of stuff, okay? Yes, they have a big involvement in making the fights, but they don't make the fights. Do you know who makes the fights? Managers make the fights. Okay, that's what they're employed for. That's why they get quite a hefty percentage. Okay, Eddie Hearn, it may be a surprise to some people, is not Anthony Joshua's manager. Matchroom are not Anthony Joshua's management team. They are his promoter. The promoter's job is to make their fighters as much money as they possibly can. Sell the fighter, sell the event, make them a lot of money, therefore they get a bigger cut themselves, right? Pretty straightforward, right? And manager are the ones who make the fights. So when Eddie Hearn is speaking to George Warren about this Fury-Joshua fight, 258 management will be along every step of the way. It's not like Eddie Hearn and George Warren can have a conversation and Eddie Hearn will go to 258 management and say, well, Team Fury is saying this. Because George Warren will also be speaking to 258 management. Okay? Tyson Fury's management team will also be speaking to 258 management. I don't know who his management team are anymore, ever since MTK Global disbanded. Is it Gold Star or something? Or maybe Warren Management, or I don't know, to be honest. Maybe Queensbury are his manager now. I don't know exactly what his management team is anymore. But his management team will be speaking to 258 management. So in other words, Eddie Hearn can't say something to 258 management that isn't true, because they will find out. Because they will also be speaking to George Warren and that as well. All right? Pretty obvious. If Eddie Hearn says something different, it turns out not to be true, 258 management will find out about it. Now, I'll say that to say this. Even if he wanted to sabotage it, unless 258 management are in on it, he can't. Do you think 258 management will be in on it? Well, Anthony Joshua is 258 management. That's his company. Headed by Freddie Cunningham, and you've got Banger on there, and all other kind of cats, all right? Banger seems like he's a really cool guy, by the way. But nothing can happen without 258 management knowing about it, i.e. Anthony Joshua knows about it, all right? Now, Eddie Hearn has told you what the hold-up of this contract signing is. He's told you. It should be pretty obvious. Now, before I reiterate exactly what that is, this is a super fight. This is a big fight. It's a mega fight, right? You can't get this kind of fight over the line within a couple of days, couple of weeks, right? In theory, you should be able to, but unfortunately, where lawyers are involved, and we all know that lawyers like to drag things out to try and justify their price tag and whatever else, take things much longer than what they need to be. But unfortunately, big fights take a long time. Amir Khan, Kell Brook. You've seen the interviews with Ben Shalom. That took forever to try and get over the line. Him dealing with the management teams of Amir Khan and Kell Brook took a long time. Even Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, that wasn't no walk in the park. Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford, that's been going on for months. And they still haven't got it done. And it goes on and on and on. You can even look at Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, the first fight. Now, Fury and Wilder, they agreed on their split. The fight's on. We'll remember Frank Warren saying that in Belfast. The fight's on. Okay, well, when is it? Where is it going to happen? Well, we'll let you know. How long did it take to find out? It went on for a long time. A long time. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, when they were meant to be fighting for Undisputed in Saudi Arabia. How long did that take? And then eventually it all gets done. The day before everyone signs a contract, Deontay Wilder inadvertently wins the arbitration case, right? How coincidental, right? But that took a long time, right? A long time. Many, many other fights do as well. They do. So is Eddie Hearn to blame? Is Eddie Hearn sabotaging this fight? If he was, and I found out about it, believe me, I will crucify him and put his feet into the fire myself. All right? But Eddie Hearn can't stall this fight. Yes, he's involved when it comes to DAZN, but again, he works for DAZN. When DAZN tell him something, he has to go, okay. Again, they are also involved in the fight. But the reason why Anthony Joshua has not signed his contract yet is, well, we know it why, because Eddie Hearn has told us why, and George Warren, Frank Warren, they also understand it. They have not said that Eddie Hearn is wrong on this, okay? It's the commercial deals that Anthony Joshua has. The brands, the sponsorships, the endorsements, whatever umbrella you want to put over it. He's got companies who sponsor him, who are partners of Anthony Joshua, like not only his own 258 Management and AJ Boxing, but other ones like Lucozade, like Lynx, like Under Armour and whoever else. Listen, I don't really know what his brands are anymore, I don't know. But they pay him a lot of money, a hell of a lot of money. Do you think that they give him all this money out of the goodness of their hearts because they think Anthony Joshua's a good old boy? We like you, here's a ton of money. No, it's a business move. Business. They didn't get Anthony Joshua just so they can put on their own website, well, we're a brand ambassador with Anthony Joshua. We're friends with Anthony Joshua, we sponsor him. No, they do it because they pay him a lot of money so they can be involved in all of his fights. All of them. On the posters, the promotional work, all that kind of stuff. Advertise our company for us, AJ. They have to be part of this contract. They all have to be in agreement. Queensberry, Tyson Fury have to agree to all of it. Joshua can't not have them involved because they've been paying him a lot of money. He can't say, Lucozade, you're not involved in this one. You what? Right, court case. He can end up losing every penny that he makes against Tyson Fury and then some. He needs to get DAZN online as well. DAZN and BT Sport need to agree to all this. So did ESPN, because Tyson Fury is contractually obliged with BT Sport. Apparently he still is with ESPN, even though he's already had 5 fights, right? Hey, I don't know. But Anthony Joshua is legally bound to DAZN. He can't say, right, sorry DAZN, you're not involved in this one. He can't do it. He can't do it. So everybody has to be on the same hymn sheet. That's why it's taking so long. It's not Eddie Hearn dragging his feet in the hope Tyson Fury pulls out. No, I'm not saying that Eddie Hearn wants this fight. Maybe he doesn't. But ultimately, he's been told to make this fight. He's going to make this fight. And he's going to try and get Anthony Joshua as much money as he possibly can. Tyson Fury can say how he's allowed Matchroom Eddie Hearn to be part of the promotional for this fight. Well, that goes hand in hand, doesn't it? That's standard. It's not Tyson Fury making some kind of concessions that is out of the ordinary. Look at Eubank Ben. It's Matchroom and Wasserman, right? Look at Parker and Joe Joyce. That's Queensberry and Boxer. When David Haye was managing Derek Chisora, even though he's only managing him, guess what? He saw Haymaker on the posters for Derek Chisora, right? Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. In the first fight, it was Queensberry and Premier Boxing Champions. In the rematch and the third fight, it was Queensberry, Premier Boxing Champions, and Top Rank. Okay? This is nothing unusual. Transparency of the contract. Well, yes, of course, they need transparency of the contract. Again, that's not out of the ordinary when it comes to purse splits. Okay? When it comes to splits, percentages, you need to know exactly what you're getting. And you are getting exactly what the fight generates. Anthony Joshua is getting 40%. He's not getting a minimum guarantee or a set purse. He's getting a percentage. He, his team, his legal team need to know every step of the way what this fight makes. They need to know that. Much like Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., apparently Al Heyman, going by some reports, doesn't want to show Terence Crawford what the fight makes to get his 30%, 35%, whatever it's going to be. So basically, Crawford just has to accept whatever Al Heyman tells him. Yeah, it made this much, so therefore you're getting 35% of that. Without any kind of transparency to say, yes, this is literally what happened. This is exactly how much it made. Same thing with this fight. You have to remember, Anthony Joshua is bringing on all these endorsements and everything. Tyson Fury is getting a cut of this. He's getting 60% of everything. Joshua is bringing more to this fight, really, than Tyson Fury is. Because Anthony Joshua has a lot more than Tyson Fury does. Tyson Fury has, like, what, Wow, Hydrate, and a couple of others. Unless, of course, they want to keep them out of it and say, well, whatever Anthony Joshua makes with sponsors and whatever Tyson Fury makes with his own sponsors is entirely on them. We'll get 60-40 of everything else. Maybe that's one of the holds-ups. It could well be. That would make sense, wouldn't it? But anyway, listen, we can all blame Eddie Hearn. Maybe Eddie Hearn does deserve to be blamed for certain things. But on this one, I don't think so. But listen, if it turns out that he is, as I said before, we will crucify him and we'll do a public flogging and a public hanging of Eddie Hearn if it turns out it was him. All right? But right now, I don't think so. I really don't. This is a lot of money for Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. It's a lot of money. Yes, he would like to be the sole promoter. Of course he would. Again, where Tyson Fury says that he's allowing Eddie Hearn. Well, of course you're allowing Eddie Hearn. Why would you just have Queensberry? We can have Queensberry and Matchroom, two powerhouses, promoting this fight. Why would you not? Because it's going to make more money, right? You want to make some more money? Well, you have Matchroom on board. Business sense. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.